Hello children, good afternoon. Class 10, again I am back with a new video. Children, as you have, everybody has got your revised syllabus. According to this, we are having this agricultural food chapter, but this mineral resource chapter is not there. Very soon I will going to notify to each and every group that it will not to be there. And instead of that, it will be chapter 4, that agriculture chapter will for PT1. This notification will come, so don't worry about it. Okay, up to where we can able to teach, up to that only it will come. Okay, tomorrow I will notify children, so don't worry dear, anybody don't scare. Okay, acha, each and everything you have to read very nicely, then only you can able to do the answers. Only MCQ based questions will come, then also how much it can be possible inside questions as also backside questions, how much we can cover, from there only we will do. Okay children, so let me get back from the studies only, that today we will going to teach. Our topic will be food crops other than grains. Other than grains means food crops, so many types of food crops we are having. Other than grains means our main food, what is that? Dal, chawal, vegetables and all these are there. Okay, so food crops, here I will tell you food crops other than grains. Other than grains means instead of grains we are having so many type of food crop. What are they? First and foremost important will be the sugarcane. Then it will be coming under oil sheets. Also, without the oils we cannot able to prepare our food properly, right? So that is why oil is very much needed. For beverages we are drinking like tea and coffee, right? So these are food crops, but it is not the grains, it is other than grains, so that is why it has been called as food crop other than grains. Okay, let us start the video. Sugarcane, it is the tropical as well as subtropical crop. Tropical and subtropical crop means Tropic of Cancer, from equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, these areas, and with that 45-degree north and south latitudes are coming under in the subtropical region. These are coming within this. Sugarcane is very much well cultivated area, it's suitable for this sugarcane cultivation. Okay, here it grows hot and humid climate is required very much, because for sugarcane rainfall or water is very much required. Okay, so temperature will be 21-degree to 27-degree, around same as rice, and annual rainfall between 75 centimeter to 100 centimeter. If it is more 150 also, it can be all right. Irrigation is required. Those are regions like Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana. These are the places wherever rainfall is not sufficient, so that places are due to, with the help of irrigation system, artificial irrigation system, through the canals, through the tube wells and all, people are doing the agricultural means they are cultivating the land and they are producing sugarcane. Okay, there are variety of soils can be sugarcane, it can be grown. What are they? And manual labor is very much required, because whenever cutting time, that time it is very much fast. And for sugarcane, one thing I will tell you children, it is market oriented business, it is market oriented crop. It means that transportation will be when connected with the market, as it is with first sugarcane has to go to the sugar mills, so the connectivity, the transportation system will be very much good, from the sugar cultivation land to agricultural farm to the processing, the sugar factories, right? So the transportation will be should be very much good. Otherwise this sugar cane, after cutting within 24 hours will only, it is starting to dried up very much, so sugar that much amount will not come. Okay, there are so many byproducts are there of these sugar cane. What are they? We are knowing that sugar, gur, jaggery, in English we are telling khandasari, and molasses are the remaining portion that it can be, we are using as a waste, or for as a means fuel we can also use it. Okay, next we will move on to, and what are the producing states? Major sugarcane producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, Punjab. These are more or less. Okay, now we will tell you the oil sheets. Children, that day you asked me na, what is ma'am lean sheet? Lean sheet I have already just today I will going to tell you that. I told next day I will tell you that in 2014 India has the second largest producer. Please underline that, of groundnut production of India in the world after China. After China it is groundnut. Groundnut means the badam we are eating na, like peas, that peanut, that is also, it's like that only. Its rapeseed production, India was the third largest producer of the world after China, Canada and China. Okay, rapeseed are that it looks like mustard, but it's not like mustard, but it is the toxic, whatever the oils are coming after grinding it, it is full of toxic elements. Toxic elements means it's harmful elements are there, so that is why rapeseeds are not good, oils are not good for health. There are so many types of oils we have in the market, like vegetable oils. What are they? Like soybean oil, we have sunflower oil, we have mustard oil, we have coconut oil also, we have peanut, this castor oil also, we have olive oil also. So these are here also. Linseed oil, in English, I will tell you that it is called the flax. It is the oil coming from flax seeds. Okay, and in other words it's called tishi tail. Okay, so it is the edible oil. Edible oil means anything it can be mixed up with it. These are called the edible oils. Okay, cotton seeds also, sunflower also. Okay, these are the cooking mediums. However, some of these are very useful raw materials for the production of the soap. These are the edible oils, not only used for the cooking purposes, it can be also used for the soap, cosmetics, ointments, creams, gels. These are the main element of all these type of making products. Okay, so these are the main raw materials. Okay, now I will tell you, groundnut is a kharif crop and accounts of half of the major oilseed production in the country. Okay, groundnut is a major crop. Gujarat was the largest producer. Please underline that, children. If question will come, you can able to find it out. Groundnut followed by Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu 2015-16. Linseed and mustard are rabi crops. These two are the rabi crops. If I will ask you what are the rabi crops within these oilseeds, you have to answer like mustard and linseed. Okay. Sesame, but sesame will be kharif crop in the north, rabi crop of the south. And castor seeds are that wherever it is very thicker oil. If you go to the any type of medicated shop or any stationery shop, if you will ask for castor oil, it has been used in different way. For healing purposes it can be used. It's a thicker little bit. If we are having that hair fall problem na children, so that places also it can be works, and it is having it is having so many other works also. Okay, so in Hindi it is called redi ka tel. Okay, so now I will move on to tea. Tea and coffee, these two are the main beverages of our country. It is a plantation agriculture. Due to that, it is the example of plantation agriculture. Plantation agriculture, what we have already learned, children. So many features are there, and it is also important beverage crop introduced in India initially by the British. Achha, we have not got it from ourselves only. Generally, it has been introduced by the British. Britishers has some things they have done very nice. Within that, it is one of them. A railway track, they have been just railway system they have been started. That is also very good thing, which has beneficial to us in different way, right? Here, beverage crop, today most the tea plantations owned by Indians. Generally tea plants are growth in generally the mountain regions. Okay, tea plants and tropical subtropical climate, here also same thing is there. And another thing is that it will be deep fertile soil, well drained soil should required. Okay, in the hill slopes only, it is only suitable for the hill slopes, but it should be in the middle, in between time the rainfall should be there, the soil should be wet. Okay, but the water should not be retained, means it not be stayed in one place, it has to be washed off. Okay, another thing is that well drained soil rich in humus and organic matter. Humus and organic matter has to be present over there very much, otherwise this will not to be suitable for cultivation of the tea. Tea bushes requires warm and moist and also frost free climate all through the year. Frost free means the snow. If snowfall will be there, then it will spoil totally the production. Okay, frequent showers evenly distributed over a year ensure continuous growth of the tender leaves. Tender leaves means very nice. Tea is a labor intensive industry here also. I will tell you something else, like for tea production, I think children you have seen, if you see the tea gardens, you can able to see only ladies persons are allowed. They are taking out the tea leaves. there will be two leaves, and end of the tea leaves there will be a bud. So they are only just with our two hands like this only they can able to the ladies persons, these women's are they having the thinner fingertips. So that is why it has only by taken out properly by the women's, and that is why the women's are mostly involved in these type of tea industries, okay, or tea gardens, right? It requires abundant cheap skilled labor. Skilled labor means if you don't know how to take out the tea leaves, so it will be totally spoiled. So good quality tea leaves we are don't having generally, whatever it is available in the market, that is in the dust particles and semi dust particles whatever we are getting. And the proper tea leaves, Darjeeling tea and Assam tea both are very much nice in fragrances, and its quality also it's world famous, right? Major tea producing states are Assam, hills of Darjeeling, Jalpaiguri districts, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Apart from these, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh and Tripura also tea producing states in country. They are little bit also producing. In 2014, India was the third largest producer of the China and Turkey. Please underline children all these things, you have to learn it, otherwise you will not able to answer only. Okay, now I will move on to coffee. In 2014, India produces 3.22% of the world's coffee production. India coffee is known as the world's good quality. It is the Arabica variety of quality. Arabica means very good essence, very good odor it's coming, as it is with it's having very good quality. Taste is also very much nice. From Yemen it produced to the country. It is variety of a great demand all over the world. Okay, initially its cultivated was introduced on the Baba Budan hills. Baba Budan hills wherever located, but now even today cultivation confined in the Nilgiri hills in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. These three places. Acha children, and another thing I will tell you, coffee it's not a fruit, it's a bean. Bean means it's a seed part. Okay, coffee fruit will be there, then inside the coffee fruit they are collecting the total means that bean means that full fruit part they will collect, and coffee trees are little bigger than the tea and all. So they whenever it's ripening, that time only that seeds they have been collected and they are dried it. After drying it, so many processes it is ground. It will be I think fried or something like I think it has been baked, then it has been crushed and it has been sent it to the market, sealed and sent it to the markets only. Okay, so tropical as well as temperate fruits, Tamil Nadu. Okay, now I will tell you the horticulture crops. Horticulture children, what is horticulture? Horticulture is that wherever some specific type of fruits and vegetables, I think I have told it whenever I was starting the chapter, that's agriculture, horticulture, that viticulture, all these things. Okay, so horticulture is one of them. Whenever we are some special in a some special environment, if we are producing some special fruits as well as vegetables. Okay, these are very much special and we have to take care of very much of it, right? In 2014, India was the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world after China. India is a producer of tropical as well as temperate fruits. Mangoes of Maharashtra, please underline children, mangoes, wherever what fruit are available and wherever what vegetables are available, here only we will going to learn. Underline mangoes of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Oranges of Nagpur and Cherrapunji. Bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Pineapples of Meghalaya. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra. Apples, peas, apricots, walnuts in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh are great demand of these all over the world. These type of horticulture gardens are called orchards, especially the fruit gardens. Okay children, I think you have seen in the Jammu and Kashmir or in the Himachal Pradesh, those who have visited. I have not been visited, I am not so lucky to visit all this. So those who have visited, they can able to find it out easily. They are knowing, they means big fruit trees are there, and it's a very big orchards are there, and there means in a bunch the fruits has been cultivated like that only. Okay, it is having high quality and high values are there. It mostly sent it to the export purpose it has been used for. Okay, very less keeping in our India. India produces about 13% of the world's vegetables. It is an important producer of PE, peas means peas, cauliflower, onion, cabbage, tomato, brinjal and potato. These are also coming under in this horticulture method. Okay children, so today my theory portions will be more, because these theory portions, it will help you a lot. I'm giving you some extra informations from there also. Now we will going to start the non-food crops. Up to here we have told about the food crops. Now we will tell about the non-food crops. Non-food crops means the crops which has been cultivated either for plantation purpose or for selling purpose, like that way only, but it is not food items. Okay, so first and foremost important thing what we will see, it will be of rubber. Rubber has been it's not a produce, actually it's a latex. Latex means it's a gum type of thing, liquid which is coming from the rubber trees. Okay, it can be equatorial crop. Why it is called equatorial crop? Because equator, we know that 0 degree it consists of 0 degree to 5 to 10 degree north and south. These areas climate is very much moist, everyday rainfall will be there, and sun rays are also it's not slanting, it's vertical for all over there. It is only suitable for this cultivation or to grown up this rubber tree. Okay, but under special conditions it also grown tropical and subtropical areas also. If we are providing properly water, we are giving them proper rainfall, we are giving them moist weather, we are giving them this sun rays properly, so it can be also cultivated in the tropical subtropical areas also. It requires moist and humid climate, rainfall of more than 200 centimeter and temperature above 25 degrees centigrade, and humidity here not mentioned children. I will tell you humidity will be around more than 80% is required. Rubber is an important industrial raw material. It's not a fruit, not a produce, not a beverage. It is an industrial raw material. It is a sticky type of thing has been collected from the trees. Okay, it mainly grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Garo Hills of Meghalaya, because those the areas consist of these evergreen forest. Rubber is type of tree which is consist of this evergreen forest only. It's a evergreen tree. It's a equatorial forest region it has been consist of. So whenever we will learn the further chapter, that time only we will going to know. I think you have known, class 9 you have read. So these are world's natural rubber productions, are producers are there. Okay, so now I will tell you the fiber crops. Fiber crops are generally having two types. Okay, cotton, jute, hemp. Hemp is one type of fiber like a jute only, and natural silk. Here also I will tell you something. These four fibers, please underline children what are the natural fibers. Major fiber crops grown in India. The first three are divided from the crops grown in the soil. Cotton, jute and hemp has been cultivated from the soil, but natural silks has not been cultivated from the soil. It has been taken from the cocoon. Cocoon is one type of larva which is this mulberry, which is making the silk thread due to its process only. Cocoons and silkworms which is feed on the green leaves of the specially mulberry. Mulberry is a type of plant which they are eating, and then only their processing will be start. Rearing of silkworms for the production of silk fiber is called sericulture. Children, underline questions are coming. What is sericulture? Okay, and your short question MCQ can come. What is sericulture also? Okay, so now we will tell about the cotton. India is believed to be the original home of the cotton plant. Here also definitely, because the southern plateau, the Deccan plateau has been consist of black soil which is very much suitable for this type of fiber crop. Okay, cotton is one of the main raw material. Cotton generally raw material we are not using it. It has been going to, it's a industrial raw material, and also we are wearing the clothes of cotton, that also it has been further processed, and it has been that textile industry it is used. In 2014, India was the second largest producer of cotton after China. Cotton grows well in the drier parts of the black soil of Deccan Plateau. It is not require so much of rainfall. It requires high temperature, light rainfall and irrigation system. 210 frost-free days. Frost-free days means snowfall should not be there. That is why southern Indias are suitable. Some states are suitable for this type of cotton production. Okay, and bright sunshine for its growth. It is the kharif crop. Underline children what is it is kharif crop. Cotton is the kharif crop and requires 6 to 8 months to mature. It is taking time. Okay, Major cotton producing states are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. Children, those who are the states consist of this Deccan Plateau. Now these are all coming under this is cotton producing states. Okay. Now I will move on to jute. Jute is also known as the golden fiber. Golden fiber, why it is called? Because its color will be of golden, and it also takes time. It is also very much famous for moist weather. It requires. Jute grows well on the well-drained fertile soil in the flood plains where the soils are renewed every year. Another thing I will tell you that alluvial soil also suitable for this type of jute. Okay, high temperature is required during the time of growth. West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Orissa, Meghalaya are the major jute producing states. It is used in making. It is having so many uses. Children, you know better that jute bags we are using. We are using the carpets. We are using the sacks. Right, ropes, mats, yarn, carpets, and other artifacts. Artifacts means handmade things, that handicrafts only. Due to this high cost, now jute is because now these days the production cost is very much high. And another thing I will tell you, whenever ripening time, the plant has been fully cut and it has been dipped. That is why water body is required. It has been dipped to the water bodies for some days only, but around 1 month or around 15 days, like that way only. Then whenever it started rotting up, that time only these threads and fibers are coming out. Okay. Due to the high cost, now these days jutes are also synthetic fibers are also taking its place, but jutes are also losing its popularity. But then also still we are using it. It is very eco-friendly and it is the natural fiber, definitely. So we can able to use it anytime. It can be decomposed anytime. So these are the main factors. So today, children, up to here. Another video might come. I will send you very soon. So till that time, thank you so much, children. Please watch my video. Please interact with me every time. I am telling. I know that you are interacting. Then also I need more just involvement of you people in my class only. So please involve yourself. Involve yourself. Those who are absentees, please join our classes. Our classes is not so bad. I think we are giving you so many information, especially my class. I think, children, you can ask to your friends also. You can come to know that whatever benefits and whatever deficiencies, whatever benefits are there, especially. So please join the classes very soon. Those we will not allow children from next time onwards to off your camera. Camera should be on during the classes of Zoom class. So read up to here, read the chapter up to here, okay, and tell me your doubts in the Zoom class. Till that time, thank you so much. Stay safe at home. Just sanitize yourself proper on time. Just maintain social distancing. Don't roam here and there. Stay safe, stay sanitized, stay at home. Thank you.